Hello, everyone. Hi, it's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. So, I have some fun little card ideas that I want to share with you that features some new catalog products. So, the new catalog starts on Tuesday. So, happy May, everybody. It's May already. So, I'm going to show you a new stamp set, a new bundle that is called Sending Smiles. So it has some just really fun images and a lot of different sayings that you can use on your cards. And I'm also going to show you how to use the die set. So this is the die set, and there's two dies in particular. So I'm going to take these out. Good morning. I'll show you how to use these two dies to create these little kind of, I guess, what you'd call bubble images for our greetings. So they're pretty easy to use, and I'll just give you a couple tips on how to use them. So, good morning, everyone. Good morning. So, of course, you guys know how much I love the in colors. So, that's what I'm going to be using today. I created two different cards and I created them using all five of the new in colors. So, I will show you how to do this. So, good morning. Good morning. I'm just going to make our screen bigger here so you guys can see this a little better. All right, so these are the cards that we're going to create. They're very simple designs, and they have this nice little bubble image that I created with those two dies that I just showed you. And then, of course, they feature some of the new colors. So we'll start with this one. And what I did is for all of my cards today, I just used white cardstock for the base of my card. I'll move that over there. So it's just your standard card base. So this is 5.5 by 8.5, scored in the middle at 4.25 inches to create the base of the card. So it's just your standard card base. I'm just gonna flatten this out a little bit more. So I'm gonna set this aside because for this first card, what I decided to do was just do my stamping on a piece of white cardstock. So I'm just going to adhere this white piece to my white card base just to kind of give it a little subtle dimension. So this is just 4 by 5.25 inches. So the first thing I did is just cut a piece of the pretty designer paper. So I'm using Starry Sky. That's what this is. So this is just a 1 by 4 inch piece. And I just kind of laid it on the side of my card just to kind of help guide my stamping because I want the stamping of this little floral image to be on the right side. So I'm going to use some Parakeet Party. And I'm going to start out by stamping my leaves and my stem. So I'm just going to angle it a little bit so that I can get my other images in there. And then I'm going to use, for this card, I used Starry Sky and Tahitian Tide. So that's what I'm going to be using. So we'll stamp the first flower in the Starry Sky. So there's a couple different floral images in this set, and I'll show you with the other card what the other images look like. But it's fairly easy to line up because these are photopolymer images. So there is our main flower. And then we'll just add a little tiny flower next. So the nice thing about these in colors is that they go so well together. I mean, no matter which ones I picked up, they just look so pretty together. All right, so that's our basic design. And now I'm going to add the little flower centers. So I just decided to use some Mango Melody because it's kind of like an orangish yellow for the centers of my flowers. So I'm just going to add this little center here. And then I have the little tiny one on the other side. So I have my smaller images, one on each side, because I don't have enough blocks. So this works just fine. So that's what our basic design looks like. See how pretty it's coming along? Yes, this does have great sentiments. I love all the sentiments that are in here. Okay, so that's what the basic design looks like. And now I can just go ahead and start decorating it. So you guys know me and my doilies. I'll be adding some doilies and a couple other things. So we'll add this first. So like I said, I didn't adhere it down to this cardstock piece. I just kind of used it as a guide for my stamping, but you could certainly adhere it down. But just in case my stamping didn't turn out the way I wanted it, I decided not to adhere it down to my card here. So I'm going to move this out of the way so you guys can see this. So with this um, set, you have these two little dies that come in the set. So one is what I kind of call the bubble die, and that's what creates this outline right here. So that's like the background piece on this card. And then you have your more detailed die, which when you cut it out, this piece fits right inside this bubble die. So I used some adhesive sheets. I just put a little adhesive sheet on a piece of cardstock. You can cut these adhesive sheets down. So this is what the adhesive sheet looks like. I'll show you. So I just basically cut a piece of cardstock that was large enough for that die. And then I did the same thing with my little adhesive sheet. And all you do is peel off the adhesive, that backing, and then you just put it on your cardstock. So I tend to not do it the full width of the cardstock. I cut it a little bit shorter because it's sticky and it's easier to apply to your cardstock piece that way. So now I have my adhesive sheet on there. So now I can lay this die on my cardstock and I can send it through my embossing machine. And when I do that, I end up with this. Okay. And so this piece, basically you have your adhesive already attached to your greeting here that you want to use. So I just peel this off. And then we will add it to our little bubble. So the only difficult thing, and it's not really difficult, it's just a little putsy, is there's this little tiny dot here for the eye. So you can see I already added it to my bubble shape here. With the next card, I'll show you how to I kind of found out a little tip for making it a little bit easier, but you want to make sure you add that little eye, but the rest of your die comes off in this direction. So comes off all in one piece. And it's already sticky on the back because I used an adhesive sheet. So now you could just lay it on here and just kind of slowly go along and push it down. You know, I kind of do one little letter at a time. And you just go along and adhere it. And it fits in there perfect. So that's what it looks like. Pretty cool. I love this. I love this set. It's so much fun. Okay, so now we have our little greeting here for our card front. So I'm going to add a couple dimensionals on the back because we're going to pop this up. So the little dimensionals work the best, those little mini dimensionals, because then you can get them in all these smaller spaces across this little die cut shape. So it's kind of fun. So we'll add, I like to add a bunch so that so my sending greeting doesn't sag in the middle. So there we go. Okay, so we'll bring this back. So now what we're gonna do is this is gonna go right across here. And then our sending is gonna go right on here. So I just kind of want to get an idea of where I want to stamp my little note of thanks. So I'm going to stamp that first before I adhere everything. And then we'll go ahead and adhere it. So I'm just using that parakeet party again. So we can go right about there. Under pressure. Under pressure to get it. There we go. Okay, so now we'll just adhere this all together. So I have a little piece of a doily. These are those Heart and Home doilies. So they're colored on the back. So this happens to be a gray one. So I just adhered it to the side of this piece. This is a 1" by 4" piece that I'm going to adhere straight across the bottom here. So we'll add that. So I'm adhering all these pieces flat, and then the only piece that will be popped up will be that sending greeting, this one. And we'll adhere this to our card front right away. I'm going to trim this down. See, the nice thing is if you cut it a little bit too big, you can always trim it down. So there's tip number 1 for you. All right, so we'll put this on. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. This set is so pretty. It makes such pretty cards. And then you pair it with the in colors, and it's just gorgeous. So, okay, so that's what the card looks like. So now we'll add our little greeting, and then you can add embellishments. I realized I never added any embellishments. I didn't add any pearls or anything. I think I was so excited about the die and the design that I forgot to add anything else. So you can add more. So we'll just pop this up right here, and then you have a really pretty card. I just love it. So like I said, these are new in colors. So it's Starry Sky, that's the darker blue. And then the Tahitian Tide, that's that lighter color blue that I used on this card. And I'll probably go ahead and add some pearls to it, but it actually looks beautiful without it. So bling always helps. Yes, it does. So that is the first card that I have. And I'll show you, before I move on to the next one, I'll show you what else I created with this kind of design. So this one is done, in that darker color. But then I created another one. Let's move these over. So then I switched the colors around. I just used the light blue, for the larger flower, and I used the light blue for the rest of the design, but everything else is the same on the card. Same colors. I just kind of switched things around a little bit. And then this one, I used red. Of course, it's not red. It's Sweet Sorbet. Sorry. And then the Starry Sky, so the dark blue and the kind of reddish color. And then the green. So you can see the design or the layout of the card is exactly the same. I just switched out the colors. That's all I did. And then here's another one. So this one is the Orchid Oasis. So that's the color I used here. So these are all 5 of the new in colors. So I have the Orchid Oasis, the Tahitian Tide. This is the Parakeet Party right here. And then this is the last one. So this is the Parakeet Party in the background. And then I just used, stuck with the Sweet Sorbet and the Starry Sky. So I got 5 different cards from just that one layout. And, obviously each of them is very different. They're all done in different colors. but it's a great way to use your designs over and over again to, create completely different cards. So I like to do that, as you guys know. So there's 5 cards created with all the new ink colors. So this next one that I have to share with you, so I'm going to show you the difference between the two. So this first one I put this little die cut on a white background. So this time I took a white, I switched it. I used white to create this very detailed word, and then my background is done in the starry sky for my greeting. So I'm going to show you how to make this one. And hopefully I didn't lose my little pieces here. There we go. Okay, so we'll start with this same white cardstock for the base of our card. And then I just took a 2 by 4.5 inch piece of designer paper. So that's going to go on the card. I'm not going to adhere it just yet. And then I used the stitched rectangle dies. So this one is like roughly 2 1/8 by 3.5. So it fits this little design perfectly. So instead of stamping directly on the cardstock, this time I decided to create all my little die cut pieces. So I stamped them all on a scrap piece of paper of white cardstock, and then I just cut them out with the coordinating dies in the set. So yes, there are coordinating dies in the set. All right, I didn't want to go up that high. Let's see if I can pull it off. There we go. I better pay attention. All right, so I'm going to adhere this flower first. So I'm just going to pop up all these pieces. And I just did this one in all the same colors. So the only accent color really is the parakeet party, that green color. So that's what our piece looks like. And then I just kind of snipped this off the bottom here. We don't need it that long. So I'm going to add my note of thanks right on the bottom there. Just move some of this. So I'm using the parakeet party again. And we'll just add that right here on the bottom. I might even trim this up a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and adhere this together, and then I'll show you how to create the little die cut image here. So we'll add this. And these I just adhered right down to the card. I didn't pop any of these pieces up because I already popped up that piece, this piece. All right, and then this piece is just a 3/4 by 4 1/4 inch piece, and that I'm just going to put directly across here using a couple dimensionals. So let me grab some of those. Just going to use up some of my scrap dimensionals here. So I added this piece just so that I could add just a little bit of contrast behind my greeting. So that'll go like that. So I'm going to set this to the side for the moment. And then this is my greeting that I cut out. So I have my little bubble image cut out in that starry sky. And then I have this little greeting that I already cut out on some there's an adhesive sheet on the back here, so it'll be sticky. But one of the things I did is that little eye, I'm gonna flip this over. That little eye, I tried to put it back into my die. So let me see if I can try this again here. Line this up. So if you line this back up, you can pop this little piece right back into your die, hopefully. Hopefully this works like it did yesterday. Okay, so I have that little, so I had it in there. I had that little piece in there. Now I'm gonna have to try to pick it up. But you try to get it back into your little die so that it's a lot easier to add to your piece. So we'll have to figure it out. The best laid plans. It worked so nice yesterday. Let's add this first. We'll have to come up with a different way. But it did work yesterday where I was able to put it back into the die, and then it made it a lot easier to add to the card front or to this bubble image. But I'll see if I can get it back in there. For now, we'll just add this piece. So that's probably the trickiest part, is trying to get that little dot in there. That little dot for the eye. Everything else flows together really nicely. Just need a tool. All right. So let's see if I can pick this up. Let's see if I can get it back that way. Yay. All right, so I put it back inside here. And you got to get that adhesive backing off of there, which is why I put it back inside here, because it was a little bit easier to do it, but it's just going to be a stinker today. So I'll have to get my little thing here. So like I said, this is the trickiest part about this die. Otherwise, I love it. Let's see if we can do it this way. Peel that off. There we go. So all else fails, use this little tool, this little take your pick tool, because now I have it on here. So now I can just add it right on the eye. So that's the trickiest part, the putziest part. Otherwise, it turns out beautiful. Yep, the take your pick tool works perfect. But it does, when I was cutting this out, I did have that little eye stuck, that little dot was stuck in there. And it worked perfect, because then I could take this die and I could lay it directly on here where I wanted it. And I could push and poke that little eye right onto, right onto my bubble piece. So if it doesn't stay in your die and you're not able to poke it on there, then the take your pick tool will work just fine. All right, so now that all that drama is over, let's go ahead and add this. So for this one, I'm only going to use 2 dimensionals, and that's just to support the top part of my S and the bottom part of the G here. Everything else is going to be on this strip. So I'll just add a little bit of glue, and then we're ready to add that. Okay, so there is the second card. And then, like I said, you can go ahead and decorate it, any way you want with some embellishments or twine or anything you want to add. So I'm going to show you the other cards that I made with this one. So here, this time I did them all in different colors. So I just used the other four in colors, but I used the parakeet party, the green here on every single card. So you have parakeet party and the Tahitian tide, and then you have parakeet party, and then this is starry sky. And then here is parakeet party and the sweet sorbet, and then parakeet party and the orchid oasis. So you get four different card ideas, or four different card designs, different colors using when you use those in colors. So I really love the in colors. I love this set. I think it's just really pretty. I'll bring back some of the other cards so that you can see the other design. Or actually, here, I'll just move this out of the way so that you can see it. So these are the two designs. I'll get these up on my blog later today, but I just wanted to share some fun new products with you. And of course, tell you about the in colors because I love the in colors. So if you signed up for my In Color Club, you'll be getting an email from me today. So the registration closed yesterday. So everyone that registered yesterday, thank you. I will be sending out your email today. And if you missed my In Color Club, don't worry. There is a fun little In Color starter kit that is coming out. I don't know if you guys saw this. I'm going to move this real quick. So starting on May 3rd, you can get the In Color starter kit through Stampin' Up. So when you join Stampin' Up, you get your regular starter kit, which is $125 in products, all for $99. But starting May 3rd, you get all these In Color products along with it. So that's like $66.55, I believe. Can't read it right now. So you get an extra $66.50 in products, all for $99. So this is a super deal. So if any of you guys join my In Color Club and you want to take advantage of this instead, just shoot me an email and I can take care of getting you off the In Color Club list and you guys can go ahead and get the starter kit. So keep this in mind. This is a super deal. It's going to be available starting May 3rd with the launch of the new catalog, and it'll be available through the 31st of May. So definitely take advantage of that. That's a huge, huge bonus. All right, so there you go, guys. So I hope you enjoyed all of these card ideas. And I hope you enjoyed a look into the new products. So again, the catalog starts May 3rd. If you guys don't have a catalog and you would like one, you can simply request one. The link is in the description with this video. And the link about the starter kit is in the description with this video as well. More details will be posted on the website starting May 3rd when the special goes live. So there you go, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys again next week. So take care, everybody. Bye.